Welcome to the Johnson's Dairy Farm. Holstein cows produce the milk on this dairy farm. Mrs. Johnson and Mr. Johnson both work very hard to make it a success. Much of Mr. Johnson's time is spent preparing the fields, fertilizing them, planting seeds, and harvesting crops. Here he is spreading manure on the field so that his spring crops will grow well. In the fall he will harvest a huge amount of food to feed his herd of cows for the next year. The cows eat a mixture of oats, corn, and a vitamin supplement. Besides this ground feed, they eat hay and silage, which is chopped corn stalks. Water is also important for making milk. Cows drink a lot of it from the easily reached fountains at their sides. These different foods provide the cows with all the essential nutrients to make good and wholesome milk. If you see a cow chewing when she is not near food, she is chewing her cud. Each cow has 4 stomachs, and food is brought back to her mouth to be re-chewed for each stomach. Calves are hungry too. Feeding the calves is one of the many jobs that Mrs. Johnson does every day on the farm. A cow does not give milk until she gives birth to a calf. When the heifer is 16 months old, she is bred by a bull or by artificial insemination. A calf will be born 9 months later. Milk then comes into the mother's udder, and she is milked regularly twice a day. 3 months after the birth of her calf, she is bred again and continues to give milk for the first 7 months of her pregnancy. During the last 2 months of her pregnancy, she is dry and does not give milk. Thus, in order to give milk, a cow must give birth once a year. Even the littlest Johnson helps with the daily chore of feeding the calves. The whole Johnson family takes part in the work that needs to be done on their farm. Therefore, there is little need to hire help from outside the family. For this reason, the Johnson's farm is called a family farm. Every morning a milk truck from the dairy picks up the milk from the evening and morning milkings. The milk is kept in this refrigerated bulk tank. It is refrigerated by ice-cold water which is pumped through the double stainless steel wall of the tank. The paddle in the middle of the tank keeps the milk moving so that it cools evenly. The milk is about 100 degrees when it leaves the cow because that is the body temperature of the cow. When the milkman arrives, however, the ton of milk in the tank is 34 degrees, just above freezing. After the milkman drains the milk from the tank, he rinses it out with a hose. However, the farm's bulk tank must be scrubbed more thoroughly than this before the evening milk is put into it. Mrs. Johnson uses a stiff brush and some sudless detergent to scrub the stainless steel tank inside and out. She rinses it well because any dirt or old milk could contaminate fresh milk as it enters the tank. Last of all, she puts on a clean flannel filter, which strains the milk as it comes from the barn into the bulk tank. Each day, the cows are milked twice, at 5 o'clock in the evening and at 5 o'clock in the morning. This morning is cold and frosty. When they get to the barn, the cow's udder and teats are washed with hot water and a sudsless detergent. The first milk from the udder is removed by hand into a strip cup. If there is anything wrong with the milk, it can be detected at this time. Now the cow is ready to be milked. Mr. Johnsen hooks the milking unit to the glass pipeline which carries the milk from the cow's body to the bulk tank. The black rubber linings of the metal claw are called teat cups. The teats of the cow are inserted into the teat cups, and a vacuum pump gently forces the rubber lining to press against the teats with an on and off rhythm. Milk comes out of the udder when the rubber lining relaxes. The on and off rhythm of the vacuum pump causes the plastic hose to pulse regularly as the milk flows through it. The milk is protected from contamination of air and dirt in this Pyrex line. Before the first cow's udder is empty, the next cow is prepared for milking. The teats are cleaned and the milk is tested. The second of 4 milking units is connected to the Pyrex line, and the teat cups are attached to the cow. Over 50 cows are milked in this way. The milk from the evening and morning milkings fills the bulk tank with nearly a ton of milk. After the last cow has been milked and the bulk tank is full, the milking units are connected to the vacuum power so that steaming hot water and a sudless detergent is forced through the Pyrex line and receiving tank. The hot water gushes through the whole system with great force for about 10 minutes. In this time, anything that could contaminate fresh milk is washed away. In the middle of the morning, the milkman comes to empty the full tank of milk and transport it to the dairy. There it will be homogenized, pasteurized, and bottled as milk, whipping cream, buttermilk, and skim milk, or it will be processed into cheese, ice cream, or other milk-based products. Any distasteful odor is a good indication of spoiled milk, so the milkman checks the milk by smelling it. He then measures the amount of milk in the tank with a calibrated stick and records the amount for the farmer and the dairy. Finally, the sample of milk is taken. The dairy uses this sample to test the butterfat content of the milk.